Hello and welcome to another Warhammer 40k rulebook review. Today we're going to look at 6th edition, and I have to say there's a lot of changes in this edition, and I haven't looked at this book for about 4 years, since 7th edition came out. There's been some big changes in this edition when it comes to the weapons and also for vehicles as well, and how that has changed. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this rulebook. So have a nice cup of tea or a nice snack as we go through this rulebook. I hope you stay tuned for this video as we delve into the history of the Warhammer 40k universe when it comes to rules development. Hope you enjoy this video. Okay, we're about to open the book. Now, before we open the book, very good front cover, and as you can see here, it's pretty thick. There's a lot of pages here. I reckon about 200, 300 pages. But we'll find out when we come near to the end. So I'm going to open the book. Here we go. Nice colour picture there. 40k quote. There you go, got the Warhammer symbol there. Orcs versus Blood Angels. There's the contents. Now the layout's a bit different now. It's not really black and white colours. I go over here and you can see it. So you got all the contents, you got the rules, different types. It's basically the same layout, like how the game runs. Yeah, it's the same. There you go. You got a nice colour picture there. Space Marines, or the Ultramarines chapter, against the forces of chaos. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. Yeah, there you go, gives you an introduction of what Warhammer 40k is all about. There you go, the introduction. There you go, classic 2nd edition picture there, Blood Angels against Orcs. And then you got a demonstration how it's played. Ha! That there's Duncan. So there you go, Duncan, who's a famous painter for Games Workshop on YouTube. You've got people here playtesting the actual rules. What you will need, so there you go through the basics, what is required, rulebook, templates, tape measure, dice, there you go, and a codex. And then you've got the rulebook, of course, and the forces to fight your battle on, and the terrain. There you go. Matt Ward, there he is. And you've got Adam as well. Cool, that's Blood Angels against Necrons. There you go there. Playing the game. Looks pretty good fun. What's in the book? The rules. The Warhammer 41st Millennium Miniature Showcase Hobby. So actually, begging your pardon, it's actually 401 pages. That's a big book. Way more than expected. It's in the book. The rules. Now we're going straight into the rules. We go through here. So here we go. Modifiers: weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, toughness, wounds, initiative, attacks, leadership, armor save. Characteristic profiles, exactly the same as in the previous edition. And yeah, their characteristic vehicle characteristics. Pretty much the same as in the previous. General principles, measuring distances, there you go, gives you an example here. 5 inches, 8 inches, 3. There you go. The dice, deviation dice, the d6 dice. Rolling a d3, basically 1 to 2, it's a 1, 3 to 4 is a 2, 5 and a 6 is a 3, d3. Divide and conquer. Modifying dice. Cocked dice. If you have a cocked dice, you have to re-roll it. Dice on the floor. Now let's read what it says on dice on the floor. Yeah, let's have a look here at the dice. Dice on the floor. It is generally accepted that if a dice ends up on the floor, it doesn't count. So if you don't need to shine a torch under the sofa, you'll find out if you've made your save or not. Most games agree that such dice can be rolled again. However, one player we know has a house rule that if your dice misses the table, you have failed the roll. After all, if you can't hit the huge table with a tiny dice, then what's the chance of your warriors having to hit the enemy? Well, he has a good point there. We have to respect that. I think it's exactly the same as in 5th edition. Alright, blast markers. There you go, you got the templates, classic luminous green templates that every 40k player is familiar with. Blast markers and templates. Scatter. Telling you how to use the scatter. Leadership tests. It's basically the same as in the current editions. Basic Varus of Arts. Okay. Cool. The spirit of the game. Yeah, most important rule basically. Controlling player, opposing player. Line of sight. So there you go. There you go. Gives you an example of line of sight. So you move from the head and true line of sight. So basically, true line of sight is seeing the head, torso, arms, and legs. Not true line of sight is banners, plumes, guns, that kind of thing. So there you go. The turn. Here we go. Going into here. Gives you an introduction to the turn, how it's used. The movement phase. Incorrect. That tells you how not to do it. That is correct. From the front. So it's from the front to the front, not from the front to the back. Very good. Coherency. Nicely laid out. 2 inches. Still the same. The shooting phase. Choose a target. Line of sight. Check range with the weapon. Which models can fire. So it gives you an example here. Now it's a bit different. Now, when shooting, obviously he can't see there. They can see them. That's cool. Okay, rolling to hit. There you go. Roll to hit. So if you're ballistic skill 1, 6s, ballistic skill 2, 5s, BS 3, 4 plus, ballistic skill 4, it's 3 plus, ballistic skill 5, 5 plus, and then you've got ballistic skill 6 or better. So you need to roll a 2 plus followed by a 6 for ballistic skill 6, and then you've got a 2 plus followed by 5 for ballistic skill 7, 2 followed by 4 for ballistic skill 8, 2 followed by 3 ballistic skill 9, and 10, which is 2 ballistic skill. So yeah, ballistic skill 10, you need 2s followed by 2s. Imagine complicating that out if it was twin linked. So you need a 2 followed by 2 followed by 2 followed by 2. If you're ballistic skill 10. Okay, right. To wound chart. There you go. It's a bit smaller than previous editions. So you've got here. It's pretty much the same as in previous rulebooks. Rolling to wound. So the bolt gun, the plasma gun, the las cannon. There you go. Strength values. So strength 9. Multiple toughness values. Okay. So if it's the vast majority of wounds, it's that amount of toughness. So if you had one character that's toughness 4, and like 9 other characters with toughness 3, it's majority toughness. That's what it explains there. The wound pool. Okay. Represents wound. Different strengths and AP values. Okay. Allocate wounds and remove casualties. Okay. Right, this is a big change. Rather than choosing who you want to take off, it is the figure that is closest to the enemy. So that gives you an example there. So he'll be closer to being shot at here, and then it works down, like so. Okay, that's a big change that they've made in 40k. Out of range, out of line of sight. Here we go. Look out, sir. They've introduced this rule in this edition. Look out, sir. It's basically if one of your character figures is closest to being shot at, you can do a look out, sir roll of 4 plus, but with independent characters, it's a 2 plus. There you go. fast dice. Okay. Interesting. Armour saves types or saving throws. Tyrannid Chitin, there you go, gives you two types of armour. So Tyrannid Chitin is 6+, Imperial Guard Flak Armour is 5+, and Space Marine Power Armour is 3+ to save. Exactly the same. Invulnerable saves the same as 5th edition. So if like for example a las cannon hits a Space Marine, the las cannon will slice through the armour because it's AP2, whereas a Space Marine has got a 3+ save. Normally it would slice through the armour and remove it as a casualty, but then there's something called an invulnerable save. Like Space Marines will be equipped with Iron Halos, and Imperial Guard will be equipped with Refractor Fields. Okay, cover saves. Yep, it's just the same really. Types of cover saves, so you've got buildings, that kind of thing. Yep, so you've got fortifications of 3+, ruins of 4+, forests and area terrains 5+, and then cover type, yeah, 6+. So razor wise a 6+ cover save. Going to ground, yes, you can order your men to go to ground. That's a new thing new rule they introduced in this edition. You can order your men to go down. So how that works, it's done voluntary after taking wounds. So if you're in the open, you could get a 6+ cover save if you go to ground where there had been no cover. The only time I did that was in Luke's Apocalypse game, where I ordered my guardsmen to go to ground because of upcoming Morlocks. Okay, focus fire. Now, what's focus fire? Let's have a look at this. Sometimes the target will only be partially in cover with some of its models in the cover, some not. In this case you have, oh I see, so there's something called focus fire. So you, if not all the figures are in line of sight, you focus fire on the particular models that are in line of sight and you concentrate all your firepower against them. So it works. Okay, maximum save is a 2+. Any roll of a 1 is always a fail. Okay, the assault phase. Okay, charge subphase. So now here's a new rule they've introduced, and that rule is called Overwatch. Basically the defender has the chance of repelling the enemy charge. They have a capability called Overwatch. Basically it's snap shooting, and snap shooting counts as ballistic skill 1, so you need 6s to hit, which is good for the defender for receiving the charge. Here we go. Charging through terrain. So terrain is done now with 2 dice and modifiers. Yeah. Okay, let's look at charging through terrain. Let's double check if there's any distance. So charging through different terrain, charges. Let's go back here. Charge move. Okay, let's have a look here. Okay, charge moves. It's a bit different now. Rather than just a flat 6 inches like in 5th edition, look at the last edition, it's now roll 2d6 and then that's your distance. And then when it comes to charging through cover, it's -2. But if you have move through cover, it negates the -2. That's interesting. There's a big change there for assaulting. There you go. Charging through difficult terrain. Charging through terrain. Fights. Subphase. Pretty much the same. It's all about initiative step. And another thing has changed. Yes. And that is challenges. Yes, you can declare challenges with a character. So the opponent that's charged says, I want to declare a challenge, and the opponent says, I accept. He chooses a character of his choice to fight in the challenge. And now, if he declines, he's not allowed to participate in the fight, in the ensuing round of combat. But he can choose to fight again in the next subphase, or until the end of combat. Interesting, there's a big change there, which is cool. I like that. I do like challenges. They're very good. I think, in my opinion, I think for challenges, fearless characters have to accept challenges, or you just choose somebody else in their place. Because fearless, it contradicts if you decline a challenge. Okay, cover saves. Yeah, so basically you don't get cover saves when you're in close combat attacks or being shot out. So there you go. Got, like I said earlier on, look out, sir. Multiple combats. Check morale. It's pretty much the same. Just little differences. Fight subphase. So we'll take over. No, that's fine. Okay. Multiple combats. There you go. Gives you an example there. So what you do is you do it by initiative. So whoever has the highest initiative gets to strike first. Cool. There you go. Fall back. So it's 2d6 running away. If they fail their morale check, Space Marines fall back and must move around enemies. If they were to move, it should carry us further away from the board edge. Okay, fair enough. Regrouping. At least 25% casualties. If less than 25% models are still alive, then leadership can be passed. Insane heroism of a double 1. Yep, so any more of a double 1, you automatically pass your morale. The exception of this is regrouping when assaulted. Okay. If the unit fails its regroup test, then it must immediately continue to fall back. Alright. Okay, special rules. Now we're going to have a look at these differences now. Okay. Tells you what the special rules are. Certain characters in 40k have special traits. Okay, acute senses. This wasn't in 5th edition as a special rule, but now it is in 6th. Okay. Basically, you can re-roll your outflank roll, which is pretty cool. Adamantium Will, you get +1 bonus to deny the witch. That's in the psychic phase. And Space Marines are renowned for this, and they shall know no fear. A unit that contains at least one model with this special rule automatically passes tests to regroup. The unit can move, shoot, or run, and declare charges normally in the turn in which it regroups. In addition to the 3-inch regroup move, if a unit containing one or more models with this special rule is caught by a sweep in advance, they are not destroyed, but remain locked in combat instead. Additionally, a unit that contains at least one model with this special rule is immune to fear. So fear tests, we'll go through that later on. Assault vehicle. So, for example, a Land Raider, that counts as an assault vehicle. Units can disembark from the Land Raider and they can charge, unlike other vehicles that can't. Armor Bane. So, okay, basically, they're given all these names for terminologies for types of weapons. So, Armor Bane would be renowned for melter type weapons, so melter guns. It would have 2d6 for armor penetration, but now it has proper wording, hence the name Armor Bane. Blast and large blast. So it's different types of weapons. You've got the small blast, which is 5-inch blast. Sorry, the 3-inch small blast, and then you've got 5-inch large blast. Games Workshop. Just goes through the rules for blasts. Even if you're partially hit under the template, you still count as hit at full strength and AP. Multiple blasts, so barrage and that kind of thing. So what it is now, which is really cool, they've introduced when firing with a blast weapon, it's minus your ballistic skill. Excellent move there, which just makes more sense. Okay, barrage, that's how it works. So what you do, you place a marker template, and it's not using your ballistic skill, it's a flat roll. So what you do is you place a blast there, and it deviates, it goes there, and then all the other remaining rounds it just flips over the other side. So there you go. Blind tests. There you go, there's another one. Any unit with a model equipped with a special rule must immediately take an initiative test. So basically you have to roll your initiative below your initiative. If you fail, you are blind. You count as weapon skill and ballistic skill 1. Any roll of a 6, however, is a fail regardless. unless that's 7th edition rule. Okay, this is a bit different. Any unit to hit with a weapon of this type must immediately take an initiative test. Pass. All as well. Shouted warning calls the warriors. If the initiative test is failed, all models in the weapons get 1/1 until the end of their next turn. Should the attacking unit hit themselves, we assume that they are prepared and they are automatically pass their test. So it doesn't say that any roll of a 6 is a fail. So you could be like initiative 7 and pass. Or initiative 6. You can pass blind tests. Strange. Okay. Brotherhood of Psychers. Cool. Right. I think you get bonuses for casting. Yeah, it's random allocation. Bulky counts as 2 people when purposes of transport. Very bulky counts as 3. Extremely bulky counts as 4. So instead of just bulky, they've made it more diverse with bigger units that can fit in transports. So Centurions, for example, they were considered to be very bulky. And XV-88s, battle suits for the Tau, I think they'll be extremely bulky. Okay. Concussive. A model that suffers 1 or more unsaved wounds from this style of weapon is reduced to initiative 1 until the end of the following assault phase. Nice. That's for like power balls and that type of thing. Counterattack, you basically count as charging when receiving a charge. Crusader. At least a unit contains at least 1 model with this special rule, rolls an extra dice when making run moves. Nice. And uses the highest result rolled. In addition, a unit that contains 1 or more of this special rule adds DF to its sweeping advances. Nice. Demon. 5+ invulnerable save. Eternal Warrior. Ignores the rules for instant death. Okay. Fear. Here we go. Fear. You have to take a leadership check. If you fail, you count as weapon skill 1 for the purposes of close combat for the remainder of that fight subphase. Okay, so you can take the fear test again in the next round. Fearless. You're not subject to morale checks, which is a much better correction in my opinion about that. Units containing 1 or more models with a fearless special rule automatically passes pinning, fear, regroup tests and morale checks, but cannot go to ground and cannot choose to fail to a morale check due to other weapons are unless rule. See page 26. Okay. Feel no pain. Now, feel no pain has been fixed. It's a lot better. Now, the standard feel no pain save is 5+, but the only modifier is basically you can't have feel no pain rolls if the weapon causes instant death. Fair enough. So even power weapons you can go feel no pain save 5+, and it's adjustable as well. Fleet. It says here, yeah, fleet of claw, fleet of hoof, fleet of foot. Title aside, all models of the abilities are treated as the same. Unit composed entirely of models. Special rule can re-roll 1 or more of their dice when determining run and charge ranges, which is cool. Such as a single D6 for charge range roll. That's cool. Fleshbane. It's basically 2+ to wound regardless of toughness. If a model with this special rule is attacking a melee weapon that has this special rule, always wound 2+. Similarly, a model making a shooting attack with the weapon. Yeah, cool. Very nice clarification there. In either case, the special has no effects against vehicles. Okay. Obviously, Fleshbane. Deep Strike. So here we go. Deep Strike is so much more reliable now than especially in 4th edition. It was absolutely ridiculous. On a roll of a 4 to 6, it's delayed. On a roll of a 2 or 3, mishapped. On a roll of a 1, terrible accident. Okay, arriving by Deep Strike basically uses scatter and 2 dice. Roll to see where it goes, and yeah, very good. It's much more better, that chart there. Force. Okay, Force, if you activate in the psych phase, counts as a weapon's charge up Activates force on a successful psychic test passed. Counts as has the instant death special rule if the opponent has failed its armor save or invulnerable save, unless of course he's turned a warrior. Furious charge. Okay, in a turn in which the model with this special rule charges into combat, it adds +1 to its strength characteristic until the end of the phase. A model with this has made a disordered charge that has received no benefit from the Furious charge. There's another rule they introduced, which is disordered charge. So if you charge 2 or more units, you don't get the bonuses for Furious charge and other aspects, which is good. I think it's a good move that they did that. And the other difference is it's not +1 initiative anymore, like in 5th edition. Gets hot. When firing a weapon that gets hot, roll is as normal for each hit of the roll. So basically, if you roll a 1, it gets hot and you have to make a save. Gets hot with weapons that do not roll to hit. Weapons that do not roll to hit, such as a blast weapons, must roll a d6 on each type. On the roll of 2+, roll as normal. Yeah, on a roll of 1, you have to make an armor save. Okay, now for vehicles, if he suffers a gets hot, on a roll of 1, 2, or 3, it loses a whole point, which we'll talk about later. Right, now this is cool. Hammer of Wrath. Some units, it's basically an impact charge. So basically, it counts as initiative 10. Let's have a look at it, just double check. If a model with this special rule charges at the end of the charge, move in, but base contact with 1 or more enemies. So you have to be in base contact. It makes 1 additional attack and hits automatically and is resolved at the model's unmodified strength with an AP dash. This attack is resolved during the fight subphase at the initiative 10 step. This does not grant the model an additional pile-in move at initiative 10 step. Cool, so this represents impact like bikes, jump infantry, that type of thing with charge. If a model with this special rule charges a transport vehicle or boarding, the Hammer of Wrath is resolved against the transport vehicle on building, not the occupants. Cool. Nice word clarification there. Hatred. This is a brutal rule here. Commonly a model only has hatred. Okay, for example, orcs. For example, hatred orcs with mean any model. Orcs whilst hatred big mechs would mean that only big mechs would be striking. Oh, I see. See what it means. Common model is hatred special. In this case, the unlucky target would be expressed as a special. This is referred to the army or a specific army. That's weird. That's different. That's a bit different. It's not re-rolls to hit. Oh, beg your pardon. Here it is. Yeah, it's down here. A hatred foe in close combat re-rolls all misses during the first round of each combat. Re-rolls all misses, so I presume it's rolling to hit. Okay. Haywire, which is cool. Instead of rolling your strength characteristic, you just roll a dice if you successfully hit the vehicle. This is for vehicles only, not infantry or wounds. A penetrating hit is a 6. 2 to 5 is a glancing hit. On a roll of 1, it's no effect. Hit and run. The unit contains at least 1 model with a special rule is locked in combat. May choose to leave combat at the end of the assault phase. If the unit wishes to do so, it must take an initiative test. Test is failed, nothing happens. And if the test is passed, choose a direction. Then roll 3d6 as long as the distance is rolled in inches and is sufficient to allow the entire unit to move over 1 away. All enemy units, they are in danger of combat. Ignoring units overlooked. Different. Okay. A hit and run move is not slowed by difficult terrain, but treats dangerous terrain normally. It may not be used to move into contact with enemy. That's a bit different. Yeah, it's rather than like an initiative step. Whoa, that's interesting. Okay, it ignores cover. Cover saves cannot be taken against wounds caused by weapons with the ignores cover special rule. Clarification. Infiltrate. Okay. So basically it's the same as 5th edition. So you've got, if you're in line of sight, it is, so here we go. Infiltrators that can be set up anywhere on the table that is more than 12 from the enemy unit, as long as no enemy unit can draw line of sight to them. Fair enough. This includes in buildings, etc. As long as the building is more than 12 inches away from the enemy. Okay. Alternatively, they can be set up anywhere on the table, 18 from the enemy unit, even in plain sight. Fair enough. And yet deployers using these rules cannot charge the first turn. Cool. Having infiltrate also confers the outflank special rule, so you got the outflank as well as a bonus. Nice. For units of infiltrate is deployed and dedicated transport. Then it goes through, it's basically the same as 5th edition. Instant death, how that works is very simple. If the caliber of the weapon is more than doubled the strength against the opponent's toughness, for example las cannon hitting every strength 9 and the opponent's toughness is 3, it causes instant death. That's where that rule comes in. Interceptor. Here we go. At the end of the enemy movement phase, a weapon with the interceptor special rule can be fired at any one unit that has arrived from reserve within its range of line of sight. If the rule is used, the weapon cannot be fired in the next turn, but the firing model can shoot a different weapon if it has one. If a weapon has the interceptor and skyfire special rules, it uses full ballistic skill against all targets unless it is firing snapshots. Okay. It will not die. It's a new one. New rule they introduced. At the end of each friendly turn, roll a d6 for each model with this special rule. Basically, if you roll a 5+, you regain a wound. Cool. Jink. Okay, jink is basically try to evade certain shots when the caliber of the shot you don't think you're able to withstand, and there's an evasive maneuver called jink. A model with this special rule that has moved in its movement phase gains a 5+ cover save until the start of the next movement phase. If a model of this special rule moves flat out or turbo boosts, it instead gains a 4+ cover save at the start of the next turn. Bit different. So actually, what it is, big difference actually in 7th edition. In this edition, in 6th edition, you shoot, roll to penetrate. If you penetrate, he can do a jink save. In 7th edition, it's, I'm going to shoot at you. Are you going to jink? Opponent says I'm going to jink. That's when it's a cover save. Different. Lance. Weapons with the Lance special rule cannot count vehicle armor values higher than 12 as 12. There we go. So there you go, you've got independent character, joining and leaving a unit. Which I was saying, anyone within 2 inches. Usually the rules there, look out sir. Heroic morale, and you roll a double 1, which is cool. Heroic morale actually, the model that contains one or more independent characters do not need a double 1, so it's just a flat leadership test. Nice. Mastercrafted. Okay, weapons with the Mastercrafted special rule allow the bearer to reroll 1 fail to hit roll to hit per turn with that weapon. Cool. Melter. Range. It's the same. So you have to be. So say for instance you've got a melter gun. It'll be just 1 dice if you're in 12 inches, but if you're within 6 inches, you get 2 dice to penetrate on top of your strength. Pretty cool. Missiles. Missile lock. Cool. Missiles fired by a vehicle with this special rule scatter d6 rather than 2d6. Pretty cool. Monster Hunter. A unit that contains at least 1 model with this special rule re-rolls all fail to wound rolls against monstrous creatures and flying monstrous creatures. Not Gargantuan though. Okay. Gargantuan coming later. Okay, move through cover. That would be yeah, just you get an extra d6 on top, so you roll 2d6, and with move recover you get 3d6, you choose the best. Basically what it says here. Night fighting ignores the rules for night fighting. Night fighting, this mission, special rule, is described on page 112. We'll look at that in a minute. Night vision, a unit counts as one model with this special rule, it ignores the effects of night fighting. Okay, outflank, it's very easy. You can outflank your opponent coming on the side table edges. So on a roll of a 1 or 2, it's on the left, 3 to 4, it's on the right, 5 or 6, you get to choose. Pinning. Basically, if you get shot at, some weapons have pinning. You roll leadership test, 2d6. If you fail, you count as gun to ground, snap shooting only. If you're fearless, ignores it. Poisoned. Yep, so poisoned as standard is 4+ to wound regardless of toughness. It can be adjustable. Wound or into wound. Different types of poison weapons. Power of the Machine Spirit. One weapon can fire at full ballistic skill, and you can fire at a separate target. What it represents here. Preferred enemy. Any rolls to hit and to wound of a 1, you get to re-roll. So any rolls of 1s are good. Psychic Pilot. A vehicle with a special role is treated as being leadership 10 before modifiers. For the purposes of psychic tests, if the vehicle suffers the powers of the warp, treat it as a glancing hit. Okay, that's different. Psyker. Psyker rules, we'll look at that later. Rage. Now this is a lot better now they cleared this up. Instead of +1 attack, you get two attacks. It's much better. Rampage. You get D3 attacks on top of your current attack value. Nasty. Very, very nasty. Relentless. If you've got heavy weapons and ordnance, rapid fire, salvo weapons, you can use them weapons to shoot and charge, like Terminators. They have that as well. Rending. Rending's a bit different in 6th edition than it is to 7th. Rending, any roll of a 6 counts as AP2, not ignores armor saves. AP2, and it's D3 against vehicles. And when it comes to penetration, reserves described 100 page 12 or scouts. Yes, you can do a free move before the game commences. Represents. Then you got shred. You get to reroll wounds. So given these terminologies now, instead of rerolls to wound, it gives you the name shred. Shrouded. Basically, that instead of +1 to your cover save when it comes to night fighting, for example, you get shrouded, which is +2. It's better. Skilled Rider. It contains at least one model. The special rule automatically passes dangerous terrain tests. Nice. Oh, there's loads, isn't there? Skyfire counts as full ballistic skill when firing at flyers. Slow and purposeful. You can never run and you can't overwatch and you can't go flat out for purposes of movement. Smash. You get to re-roll your armor penetrations. It looks like, yeah. I think you count as strength 10. Yeah, to a maximum of 10. Yeah. Sniper counts as strength 3, but it's forced to wound regardless of toughness. Also have the pinning and rending special rules. I missed the pinning special rules for sniper. Let's hope they bring that back in 8th edition. Pinning. That's the whole point of snipers. Soul Blaze. Now if you hit some weapons called like a Soul Blaze, which is like a flame sword. You can imagine a flame sword hitting somebody naturally causes fires. That unit is what's known as 4 Blaze. Soul Blaze. On a roll of 4+, place a Soul Blaze token onto the unit. That unit suffers D3 strength 4 AP5 hits. Nice. Ignores cover as well. A specialist weapon. What all fighting with this weapon does not receive +1 attack for fighting with 2 weapons unless both weapons have the specialist rule. Okay. Split fire. one of your units, one of your guys in the unit can fire another target. That's what it represents. Stealth. You get +1 cover save. Cover bonuses shrouded stealth, so it adds that on top as well. Cover save bonuses from the shrouded and stealth special rolls are cumulative to a maximum of 2+. Strafing run. Basically, when it comes against vehicles or infantry ground targets for flyers, you get +1 ballistic skill. And when shooting assault, heavy, rapid fire, or salvo weapons and artillery, beasts, bikes, cavalry, infantry, monsters, creatures, and vehicles without the flyer or skimmer type, the vehicle has +1 ballistic skill regardless of the target that the vehicle shoots. Also have the pinning special rule. That's pretty cool. Strike down. Any model that suffers one or more unsaved wounds or passes one or more saving throws against an attack with a strike down special is knocked off his feet, and before it can do anything else, it halves its initiative and moves in its difficult terrain until the end of the next turn. It's a good idea to mark an affected model's counters and coins for you to remember. Okay. Vehicles and monsters creature are immune to the effects of strike down. Stubborn. You're never subject to modifiers when it comes to morale. So for example, if you've lost the combat by 3 casualties, stubborn, flat leadership. Supersonic. Supersonic vehicle that moves flat out must move at least 18. Swarms. Swarms suffer unsaved wound, blast, and blade. Counts as 2 wounds instead of 1. However, swarms adapt to crossing. They are not slow by difficult terrain. Most tests dangerous terrain is normal. Okay. Unwieldy. Unwieldy is like a heavier type of weapon, harder to wield, so it always counts as initiative 1, except for monstrous creature and walker. I made that mistake in a few battle reports. I keep forgetting that walkers and monstrous creatures. Ignore that rule. Vector Dancer, basically for flyers, goes through later on. We'll go for the rulebook. Goes in a dead straight line. It can turn up to 90 degrees and then move. And then with Vector Dancer, you can do an additional 90-degree turn. Very nice. Vector Strike. Okay, now let's have a look at this. When sweeping this model, may savage its prey. Nice wording there, Games Workshop. At the end of the movement phase, nominate any one unengaged enemy unit. The model has the move over the terrain. This unit may even be an enemy flyer. That unit takes D3 +1 hits, resolved at its strength, and AP3 against vehicles. These hits are resolved against the target's side armor. Vector Strike was nasty. Very, very nasty in 6th edition when they introduced this rule. A model that has made a Vector Strike in its movement phase counts as having already fired 1 weapon if it's followed the shooting phase. However, any additional weapons it fires a turn it can choose a different target. That's pretty cool. Zealot. A unit that contains at least 1 model for this special rule has both the Fearless and Hatred special rules. So there you go. Pretty cool. So chaplains were renowned to have Zealot. Alright, here we go. Unit types. Infantry. Bikes and jet bikes. So it gives you all the rules for bikes and jet bikes. And is there anything here that's different? Not really. Pretty much the same. Artillery. Yep, so there you go. Basic artillery is toughness 7 with 2 wounds. Moving the artillery crew. Artilleries need to be at least 1 crewman per gun in order for the unit to move. Artillery units not have at least one crewman per gun, then it may not move. The remaining crewmen will not voluntarily leave the gun behind. Shooting with artillery. Attempts move that they cannot make snapshots. Oh right, that's cool. That's different. Otherwise the crewman the gun shooting phase can fire. That's fine. Pretty much the same, counts as movement. Shooting at artillery. Yeah, so there you go. If an artillery unit obviously cannot go to ground, assault. Fallback moves. Yeah, there's so many rules, it will take forever. It will take a very long time. We'll probably make it like a 3-part series. It's supposed to be a quick review, but it's so deep. It's so deep. It's developed now. It's quite complex, this rulebook now, but in a good way. Jump units. So jump units have Hammer of Wrath, that type of thing. Quick overview. Thrust move, so you can move 2d6 in the assault phase. Pretty much what it is. Monstrous creatures. Monstrous creatures can fire up to 2 of their weapons. Full ballistic skill. They must of course fire both from the same target. Monstrous creatures have the Fear, Hammer, Wrath, Move through Cover, Relentless, and Smash special rules. Beasts. Beasts move up to 12 in the movement phase. Beasts are not slowed by difficult terrain, even when charging. Beasts make a fallback moves just like infantry, except that they move 3d6. Beasts have the Fleet and Move through Cover special rules. Cavalry. Fallback moves 3d6, it can move up to 12. Cavalry are not slowed by difficult terrain, even when charging. However, cavalry models treat all difficult terrain as dangerous instead. Cavalry have the Fleet and Hammer of Wrath special rules. That's fair enough. Flying monstrous creatures. Now, one of the big things they introduced in 6th edition was the addition of flyers. I think this is a fantastic move from Games Workshop. Brilliant, brilliant move. Makes the game so much more diverse. Full credit to them. So you've got different types of flight mode. Gliding. Swooping. Yeah, so gliding counts as a jump monstrous creature. Swooping must move at least 12 and can move up to 24. So you turn your 90 degrees and then you can move off. And you have to move 24. Hard to hit, snap shooting. Yes. I think you can. There's another thing there as well. There's a big difference between 6th and 7th. If you change flight mode from swooping to gliding, you can't assault. I don't think. Leave in the comments below if there is a difference between gliding and swooping when it comes to assault. I want to know about that. It's just a quick, I just want to try and be as quick as I can. There's 401 pages I'm trying to go through here. You must move forward. Weapons, pretty much the same. I think everybody knows that it's all the same. Yep. Pistol weapons, salvo weapons. There you go. There you go, it tells you how to use templates, different types of weapons. Now, rapid fires, the only difference now with rapid fire is you can move and shoot with 1 shot. And then rapid fire you get 2 shots. Whereas in 5th edition, you had to remain stationary and shoot. Moving, there you go. And it gives you an example. There. Other than that, it's all the same. There you go, you got a nice illustration of different types of Imperial weapons. That's cool. Ranged weapons in the 41st millennium. It's very, 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 very easy. Very familiar. Quad gun. Loads of weapons now. Now, this I was really excited about at the time. Now that all weapons have an AP characteristic and strength value. Brilliant move from Games Workshop. I love this. So Chain Fist is strength times 2, AP 2. So now weapons have an AP value, which is excellent. So Chainsaw will be strength user, AP dash, Eviscerator would be strength times 2 AP2, and then unwielding all the additional rules. Example. Power Claw, and then you've got, so for example, in 5th edition, and any other editions, I think it's like up to 3rd edition, a Power Sword would be ignores armor, but now it's only AP3, so all of a sudden, for example, Howling Banshees weren't as effective now in 6th edition. Lightning Claws, so there you get the terminology comes out here, so you've got melee shred, so you get rerolls to wound. And it's AP3, like ignores armor saves. So it goes through here. Now another thing they've done as well is grenades. You can finally throw grenades back again, like in older editions. So in 1st and 2nd edition you can actually throw grenades back. Now, in 6th edition, grenades have a range of 8 and there's a strength and characteristic profile. Melter Bombs has a strength value of 8, AP1, Armor Bane, unwieldy. Very good, they repaired that. There goes all the stats here for grenades. Characters and leaders. Pretty much the same. Independent characters. Which is cool. Independent characters have moved through cover. And all sorts of other bonuses. Little bonuses. Fighting the challenge. There you go. It talks about challenges as we went through earlier on. Accepting a challenge. Round 2. Cool. Psychers, still the same as 5th edition, 4th edition and 3rd. Psychic phase, yeah. Here's a little bit more clarification though. So what's this? Expand the walk charge, reduce the Psycher's walk charge. Or 2. Declare, oh yeah, here we go, it's just the sequence. Declare a target, blah blah blah. Okay. There we go, so there's not much changes there. Deny the Witch. Yeah, you get bonuses, so you get +1 to Deny the Witch. That's where it represents this dispelling powers, psychic powers. Psychic Hood. Your bonuses there for Psychers. You get to re-roll your attempt to cast a psychic power. Blessing, Conjuration, Malediction, Witchfire, Beam, Focus Witchfire, Maelstrom, Nova. It'll take forever to read all that. I have to move forward. There's so many rules. But it just goes through the different types of Witchfires, like Ballistic Skill Shot and Blessings on a unit, that kind of thing. Vehicles. You got the famous Lehman Russ. Now the Lehman Russ is improved. Front 14, side 13, rear 10, 3 hull points. Hull points. Now they introduced the factor called hull points. So Lehman Russ has 3 HP, 3 wounds basically, or hull points. Okay, so glancing, you just take a hull point off, and when it's a penetrating hit, you result on the vehicle damage table. We'll look for that in a minute. Vehicle movement gives you characteristics for movement, and flat out gives you a nice diagram of what the arc of sight. So Lehman Russ turret, 360 degrees, automatic weapon. Very good. Front, side, rear. Now that's how you determine what is side and what is rear. Cool. Okay. Vehicle damage chart. Now, one of them, 2, crew shaken, 3, crew stunned, weapon destroyed, immobilized, explodes. There's no 7+. Now it's on a roll of a 1, 2, or 3. That is crew shaken in 7th edition, but now it's 1 or 2, so you could blow it up with even with an AP3 weapon or AP4 weapon. But that changed in 7th. Okay, so high AP values, so AP2 would be +1, AP1 would be +2 modifier. Obscured, so that's cover saves, you have to be 25% obscured. That doesn't count as 25% obscured. He does. That's extreme, you get +1, so it becomes a 3+ cover save. Easy. Vehicles and assaults. Bit different. Vehicles used to be really bad, punished really bad in this edition. It's a lot easier to hit them, so it's freeze to hit, regardless of weapon skill. I think it counts as weapon skill 1, and if you haven't moved, it's automatically hit. Just doing a quick overview, just to open your memory of this edition. Okay, transports, how to do your movement, nice. Flyers, oh, a whole load of rules. It's a lot of rules. It actually kind of reminds me of first edition with all this writing. It's pretty impressive. So basically a flyer is a bit faster than monstrous creatures. So you have to move 18 inches. You can fire up to 4 weapons. Cruising speed, you have to move 36, and flat out is an extra 36. Just a quick summary. Hard to hit, always counts as snap shooting. Yeah. Chariots, they get D6 hammer off hits, pretty cool. You can get your men out of the transport as well after it blows up. Open top vehicles, heavy vehicles, always counts as stationary, even to different types of vehicles. This is amazing. Walkers. Scout Sentinel, tanks. You can do ramming, there's all the rules for ramming. So okay, each point of the arm above, okay, it's front makes +1 impact. Okay, if a vehicle is a tank, so there's these kind of bonuses when it comes to penetrating. Ramming a jink, you can do that. Whoa, so many rules. Here we go, battlefield terrain. There you go, gives you an example of what a battlefield would look like. There you go. Types of terrain. There you go, you can use your imagination for that kind of thing. Buildings. So, building size chart. Small, medium, large, 30 models. So buildings have a capacity. Interesting. Bastion bunker counts as 14 armor. It gives you armor value for buildings. Pretty impressive. Vehicle damage table. So there you go, they introduce rules for buildings. Cool. So on a roll of a 1, breach, thermal, partial collapse, structural collapse, catastrophic breach, total collapse, and detonation. You look for the rules there. Template weapons, armor value 0. Okay, if his armor value is 0, it counts as a total collapse. Okay, battlements. These gives you an example here, all the types of buildings. There you go. That's how you use blast templates. So whoever gets hit. Yeah, there's a bit of controversy when it comes to blast templates. So it's like 1 level at a time that'll be hit, whereas in 7th it's all levels. Some people do a house rule, depending on the caliber of the gun, be like 3 levels max or something like that. Forest, jungles and woods. Battlefield debris. Unique terrain. Cool. Force organisation chart. Choosing an army. So basically that's your force you had to choose in order to play a game. That is not apocalypse size. Points values. Pretty much the same. The thing is so big. This book is huge. It goes on and on. Now there's another thing they introduced. The warlord traits. So you've got command traits, personal traits, strategic traits. I go through there and you choose which one. And then throughout the Codex series they make their own unique warlord traits. That's good. That's cool. Very nice. Choosing your army. This is diplomacy. Allies matrix. Cool. There you go. Gives you the rules for Imperial buildings. Aegis defense line. Sky shield landing pad. Imperial bastion. Fortress of redemption. There you go. This is the types of maps you've got here. Dawn of War. You've got Hammer and Anvil, and then you've got Vanguard Strike. Pretty much the same as 7th edition, and then you choose the mission. So you got number 1, we'll look at it as we go through. Save time. I'm in the battle. First turn. Game length. So yeah, so it's a maximum of 7 turns, which is cool. So it's no longer 6. But then there's a risk of having a short game. Turn 5. Could end turn 5. Primary objectives. Mission special rules, reserves, night fighting, that kind of thing. Sabotage. There you go. You've got mysterious objectives. Introduce that. Some people like to use them. Some people don't. For the sake of time, it's easy to forget these rules often. Then you got mission 1, gives you conditions to fulfill the mission. Crusade, purge the aliens, basically like kill points. Big guns never tire. Scouring, the Emperor's Will, and the Relic. Here we go. The 41st Millennium. Lots of fluff here. The Imperium of Man. The Imperial Hierarchy. The Emperor of Mankind. The Imperial Guard. Space Marines. Imperial Fleet. Cool. This book is huge. And the illustrations are beautifully painted. Look at that. Warp Storm. Loads of fluff. Loads of lore. Worlds of the Imperium. Another illustration there. Loads of fluff. Loads of fluff. It's a nice picture there. And, well, I've got to open it out, haven't I? Look at that. So I pan through. Yeah. Big picture. Quite impressive. Very nice picture. Lay that carefully down. There you go. Beginning of the end. That's the Emperor and Horus. Very iconic picture. There we go. More fluff. There's loads of fluff. The ages of mankind. Ah, we're overwhelmed with history. It's amazing how much history there is and storyline there is in 40k. It's incredibly diverse. I wonder why people love the stories. The stories is cool. So there you go, you got that iconic picture. Look at that, it's one of my favourite pictures. Of course it's Ultramarines. Forces of the Imperium, more lore. Space Marines. There you go, you got the chapters, squad markings. Very good. And I have to do it again. Look at that. There you go. There you go. That goes in there like that. It's quite nice actually, they've done those unique type of style of book layout. That's cool. The Imperial Guard, the Astra Militarum. And the War. The Armageddon Wars. Sisters of Battle. The Alien Menace. Alpha Slanesh. The Orcs. Or Technology. War. War. Then you got the Eldar. Oh, how much we don't like them. The Dark Elder. Look at that picture. I feel sorry for Imperial Guard. Ah, dear me. Look at these pictures. Incredible. 6th edition is amazing. The Necrons. Yes. The Necrons. The Tau. Cool faction. The Tyranids. They're their Beowulf's weapons. The Great Threat. The Forces of Chaos. Chaos Demons.
Khorne, Siege, Nurgle, and Slaanesh. Chaos Space Marines. There you go. There you got Black Legion, Emperor's Children, Death Guard, World Bearers, the World Eaters, the Thousand Suns. The Black Crusades gives you loads of fluff behind that. The enemy within cultists, that kind of thing. The miniature showcase. Here we go. This is Warhammer World. Colours of War. Look at that. We're in it now. The Space Marines. Mars Kaga, the Ultramarines. My favourite chapter. Crimson Fists, Salamanders, Black Templars, White Scars, Legion of the Damned. Crimson Fists, Space Wolves, the Blood Angels, the Dark Angels, the Grey Knights, the Imperial Guard, the Cadians, Talon, there, Steel Legion, Historians, Sisters of Battle, the Alien Menace, Orcs, loads of orcs. It's so diverse, this hobby now. You can see how it's exploded, but the miniatures are getting so much more detailed. Look at that, the Orc Stomper. Incredible models. Eldar. Yeah, models are pretty much the same. And look at the Dark Eldar, they look so much better, the sculpting. Well done, Games Workshop. Dark Eldar look really cool. They look like Dark Eldar and how they should be. Excellent move. Dark Eldar, the Tau. Fantastic faction, looking wise. I love the Tau. There you go. Tyranids, again, lovely art looking army. Absolutely brilliant. Very good. There you go. Turbigon. Cool models. The Necrons, very good. They've started doing new characters for Necrons. Revamped them. Well done. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The Great Enemy. Chaos. Chaos Space Marines. There's so many miniatures. There's so many. Chaos Demons. The Hobby. Here we go. Warhammer 40,000 experience. That's a cool pose. Or an old knob. There you go. Gets different types of books. White Dwarf. Codexes. Apocalypse. Very good. Hobby tools. The trade. Assembling your models. Very good. Citadel Finecast. You either love it or you hate it. But now, Games Workshop are doing plastic characters. How that technology's moved on now. A lot of people complained about Finecast. A lot of people called it Failcast for that reason. Oh dear me. There were some blunders from Games Workshop, but they do learn. And that's the thing. They do learn from their mistakes. And they want to improve modelling technology. Painting your miniatures. Painting models. Gives you step by step how to paint. There's so many models, so much detail. Absolutely brilliant. There you go, showcase some of the Space Wolves. There. Wow, 40,000 battles. Playing the games, Warhammer 40,000. There you go, go to your local Games Workshop store. Warhammer World. Throne of Skulls. Golden Demon. There you go. Brilliant, brilliant paintings. Battles. Fight battles in the Dark Millennium. Galaxy at War. Look at this. Fire and Blood. Cool, you can do big missions. Excellent stuff. Whoa. The Bane of Demons. Scarlet stuff. Whoa. Brilliant. Look at that terrain. Superb. Can't fault Games Workshop terrain. That looks fun. That looks really good fun. Look at that. I wish they still did them Forge World. They may redo them one day. But at the moment they're concentrating on 40k as the game's developed even more. Different types of missions, 2 arms, Battle Force recons. There's different unique missions, which is cool. The Pact of Blood. Creating a mission, special rules. Warzone traits. Cool. Cities of Death. Planet Strike. Cool. Apocalypse Reloaded. You've got expansion, but then you've got Apocalypse. Look at that battle. I love that Titan. I'll have to get one of them. Superb. Campaigns. Famous campaigns. The games. Planetary Empires. They need. I think they really need to redo the rules for Planetary Empires. They may redo them rules and get new hexes and tiles. Because I've got a whole map. I've got about 200 tiles. Hopefully they're going to redo them. Yeah, there's so much detail. So look at this for you. Expand it out. There you go. It's pretty impressive. And then we'll look on the opposite side of that. Pretty cool. I must say it's pretty cool. Yeah, put it back together. Readjust the camera like that. There you go. You gotta show every page. That is the whole point of this book review. What it is like. That looks really cool. Very awesome. Heroes of Mankind. Of course, the Ultramarines. They are the heroes. They are the best. I love to gloat about my chapter. Ugh, chaos. Filth. The appendices. Dark Millennium. Loads more lore. Loads more lore. Loads and loads more lore. The Imperial Dominators. Look at that. The Galaxy of Mankind. Rules reference. Yes, these are all the factions in the 41st millennium in this game. They redone these charts because the introduction of hull points and unit types, which is very good. It's excellent. So go through all here. Loads of units now. The game is forever expanding, which is a great thing. There you go, still got the old blast markers and templates. And there you go. Psychic disciplines. There you go. All these disciplines here. Universal. Pretty cool. Divination, pyromancy, telekinesis, telepathy. Game summary. Shooting phase. Assault phase. Light sub phase. Index. And that's the end. 432 pages of pure 40k-ness. Alright, now, what do I think? Well, there you go, there's the back cover as well. Can't forget that. There you go. This was printed in 2012. So, what do I think of this rulebook? It is a very good rulebook. I love 6th edition. It is very good. It's a great improvement, in my opinion, to 5th edition. Very, very good rule set. It had its few problems when it comes to the rules, when later codex is developed, but other than that, it's a fantastic rulebook. If you have one of these yourself, do have a look at these old rules. I encourage you to look at these old rules. I know they're outdated and the new 8th edition is currently coming out very, very soon. Great rules changes there that I've seen so far. 6th edition is very, very good. I really love this edition, and I love the introduction to AP values for power weapons. That was an excellent move from Games Workshop, and obviously flyers and flying monstrous creatures and so forth. Very, very good. Let me know in the comments below on what you like about 6th edition. I'd love to hear your input on that. And yeah, that is the book review for 6th edition. And hopefully I'll be able to do 7th edition and of course 8th edition when it finally comes out. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching this video. Remember, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and really appreciate if you could subscribe, follow and share this video with as many people as possible in order for this channel to grow and to help support this channel for your viewing pleasure. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next episode.